So now, again, we come full circle to the Nephilim, or the Nephilim, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on earth. So that is going to be something that is going to come up again here in a little bit. But we can read about this with the giants obviously starting to devour everything and how bad things really got on the earth in 1 Enoch 7. Verses 4 through 6. And the giants turned themselves against mankind in order to devour them. And they began to sin against the birds and beasts and against the creeping things and the fish, and devoured their flesh among themselves and drank the blood thereof. Remember that. Drank blood, drinking blood. Then the earth complained of the unjust ones. Again, we see even more detail in the book of Jubilees. Love me some Jubilees. In chapter 7. And they begat sons, the Nephilim, or Nephilim, and they were all dissimilar, and they devoured one another, and the giants killed the Nephil, and the Nephil killed the Eljo. That's interesting. We now have another race in here. Who are they? We'll talk about that here in a second. And the Eljo killed mankind, and man killed one another. Everyone committed himself to a crime, and injustice to shed much blood, and the earth was filled with sin. After this they sinned against the beasts and birds and all that moved and walked on the earth, and much blood was shed on the earth, and men continuously desired only what was useless and evil. Now I'm going to go back to what I said a second ago about this other race called the Eljo. Eljo is how it's referenced in Jubilees. A lot of other places, or when you go look this up, there's actually a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to it. They are actually known as the Elioud, Elouid. Okay. And what this is, were the children of these Nephilim. So you have a watcher and a woman makes a Nephilim. And then a Nephilim, in my opinion, mating with a woman would probably be the most likely scenario, would make this part angelic, quarter angelic subhuman race, right? 3/4 human, 1/4 angelic, right? If that makes sense. I do not believe that it was a reproduction between the Watchers and Nephilim, because I would think that would create an even superior being. So it only makes sense to me because of the power structure that we can see here with the Nephilim actually killing the Eljo, and then the Eljo killing mankind, and then man killing one another. We can see kind of this hierarchical power structure. And that's probably what it was, is when this mating and this crossbreeding started to get out of control, just like we see with the Olympians and the Titans and the Giants, we start to wipe each other out, and it's a play for power, right? Things started to get out of control. And this went on for a long, long time before God finally, got the Watchers and put them out of commission, bound them up, punished them, put them in Tartarus, and took Azazel, who was a key figure in that and one of the Watchers, and stuck him out in the desert in the duodial that we can read about in Leviticus. So, again, we're not going to get into that. Feel free to read yourself. There's a lot of things there. But that's kind of what we have going on here. And again, from my 2 cents, I believe that an Eljo or Elioud was actually a byproduct of a mating offspring between a Nephilim and a human woman. So take that for what you will. That's just my theory, but that's the only thing that kind of makes sense. So, but ultimately what you have here is you have a lot of death and a lot of corruption. And we can see here that not only is it, they're wiping each other out, and there's, drinking blood and shedding each other's blood. And they're also now set their sights on the animals, beasts and the birds and everything that moves on the earth. So we got a lot of problems here.